Everything you think you know is probably wrong. They didn't live in caves, they didn't fight dinosaurs, and they definitely weren't stupid. The biggest myths about ancient people have been repeated for years. We're separating fact from fiction. Close your eyes and imagine an ancient human. What do you see? A hairy caveman carrying a giant club, living inside a cave, grunting instead of talking, hunting mammoths every single day. That's the image most of us grew up with. The problem? Almost none of it is true. The real story is far more fascinating. Myth number 1. Ancient humans lived in caves. This is probably the most famous myth ever created. Yes, humans used caves, but only when caves happened to be nearby. Archaeologists have discovered thousands of prehistoric campsites built completely in the open. People constructed shelters from wood, animal hides, branches, even mammoth bones. Many groups were constantly moving, following migrating animals, following the seasons. A cave wasn't a home, it was simply one option among many. Myth number 2. They ate mammoths every day. Movies love mammoths. Reality didn't. Hunting a mammoth was one of the most dangerous things an ancient human could attempt. It required planning, large groups, and incredible luck. Most successful hunts targeted much smaller animals: deer, wild horses, boars, rabbits, fish, and birds. Plants actually supplied a huge portion of their calories: berries, roots, nuts, seeds, honey. The prehistoric diet was surprisingly diverse. Myth number 3. Ancient humans were dirty. It's easy to imagine people covered in mud, but cleanliness mattered. Many prehistoric camps were built close to rivers and lakes. Evidence suggests humans regularly washed themselves. Some groups even burned old bedding to kill insects before replacing it with fresh grass. They didn't have soap, but they understood hygiene. Mighty number 4. They were primitive and unintelligent. Take a closer look at their achievements. Stone blades sharper than modern surgical steel, needles with tiny drilled eyes, rope, glue made from tree resin, sophisticated hunting strategies, long-distance trade, cave paintings with perspective and movement. None of this was created by unintelligent people. These were engineers, artists, inventors, just without electricity. Myth number 5. They couldn't speak. Hollywood often shows cavemen making random noises. Science says otherwise. Complex hunting requires communication. Teaching children requires language. Sharing stories requires language. Most researchers believe fully modern humans possessed language very similar in complexity to ours. Their accents may have been different. Their words certainly were. But their conversations were probably much more familiar than we imagine. The greatest myth about ancient humans is that they were somehow less human than we are. They weren't. They built the foundation of everything: technology, art, language, culture, science. Without them, none of us would exist. The next time you hear someone say, cavemen were primitive, remember, those primitive humans survived an ice age. Without supermarkets, without medicine, without electricity, and somehow created the world we inherited.